prison detention for 54 days. Vacation well spent. Over 1,000 Imo youths languishing and dying in prison. Tiger Base, IPOs responsible. At about 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, 20th October 2024, I was ambushed at exactly opposite teacher's house, Port Harcourt Road, Owerri, by Ebubago militants and the Tiger Base officers, led by one Chidebere Wosu, who ordered that I should be thrown inside the boot of the Lexus car they ambushed me with. There was nothing different from kidnappers and those who arrested me. Nothing to distinguish them as security agents. However, I was taken to the state CID, locked up at the intelligence department without telling me why I was arrested. On Monday, being the 21st October 2024, at about 11:14 a.m., I was brought out by two Tiger Base operatives, namely Innocent and Philip. The one named Innocent was the IPO who presented 3 petitions to me. The first petition was the accusation of arson written by a faceless organization whose grammatical sequencing could best be described as cut and join, lacking in substance and merit, poorly constructed. The faceless writer never made any reference to the TVC news where Nonsompa quoted in his video broadcast. The second petition was written by one SP Davidson of the Intelligence Department of the Imo Police Command, where he accused me of inciting the public against the government by saying that the LGA chairman signed their resignation letters as a holding charge if they don't part with a certain percentage of the local government allocation. The third petition, also written by the same SP Davidson, was that I am planning to cause anarchy for organizing a protest against police extortion. I made my statements accordingly. I was told I would see the CP for an interview, but I never saw the CP till I was hurriedly bundled to the Magistrates Court 1 on Wednesday, October 23rd, where I was remanded in prison custody, even when the magistrate knew she has no jurisdiction over treason charges brought against me. I was taking notes. When I arrived at the Federal Correctional Center, there was excitement among the inmates when they saw me. I was taken to Records Department where I was documented by friendly warders and wardresses. I was later shown to my cell, F-line, where I shared the space with the General Provost of the prison and 4 others. The next day, I was taken to the clinic department of the prison where tests were conducted on me and the medical file opened for me. The friendly nature of the inmates made me settle down without difficulties. They were happy seeing Nonsompa. It was an opportunity to listen to their challenges and what brought them to prison. It was a lifetime opportunity to hear from those who were there during the jailbreak and what exactly happened, and those who returned after the jailbreak, and of course, their reasons for returning. Of course, there were some of them who were bundled back to prison by their people. It was worthwhile sitting and discussing with real criminals who told me they did what they were condemned for. There were those also who are innocent, yet they were sentenced and condemned. I had to peruse through the various judgment rulings of some of those sentenced or condemned, and I could see loopholes and miscarriages of justice. I told such prisoners to appeal the judgment, but the challenge remains money to hire a lawyer. Meanwhile, the number of those on awaiting trial is shocking. About 800 inmates have no access to the law court. Some have spent 2 to 10 years in prison without going to court. I took it upon myself to gather every necessary information about them for action. My project for 2025 is hugely for the welfare of prisoners and inmates, to offer help to those yet to go to court and assist those yet to meet their bail conditions. Then organize a monthly visitation for the inmates. To this end, I will form a prisoners' welfare partnership with like minds to assist the inmates on a monthly basis. by January, I shall be announcing the procedure for those interested. It will be a taboo if I fail to mention one of the obvious part of my experience and discovery while in prison. As a journalist and activist, I carried out a thorough investigation and discovered that half of those in prison were brought half dead by tiger base. There was a case of one inmate brought by tiger base, but because of the condition of the suspect, the prison management refused to accept the young man brought by tiger base. The tiger base operative who brought the half-dead young man did the most ruthless thing to the chagrin of prison management. Instead of taking the young man to hospital, the ruthless tiger base operative took a 2x2 plank and started hitting the already dying young man. It was at this point that the nurses rescued the young man, but unfortunately, the young man died few weeks later in prison. I could go on and on with the atrocities being committed inside Tiger Base Owerri, but those of them who committed such atrocities will never escape justice at the appointed time. The investigating police officers, IPOs, are another problem in our justice system. Police officers who are supposed to investigate cases brought to them would rather resort to taking bribe from the highest bidder, especially the complainant. Most inmates in prison are there today because their complainants bribed their IPO. It was in prison that I learned that a police officer can add more charges to someone's original charge to make sure that the person is remanded in prison. This is so unfortunate. These categories of police officers are being investigated and shall be made public soon. I want to urge our magistrates and honorable judges to kindly apply the community service part of punishment for minor crimes like burglary, stealing, fighting, and some other civil matters. Instead of sentencing such persons to years in prison, they should resort to giving such persons community service as punishment. This is obtainable in some states in Nigeria. We can do it in Igbo State. This would also help to decongest our prison and save more lives. The condition of inmates at the Federal Correctional Center Owerri is nothing to write home about. The feeding is poor, not enough drugs to go around. The situation is overwhelming, but the prison management is truly trying their best to manage the situation. It is sad that both the federal and state governments have abandoned the inmates at the Owerri prison. Some of the buildings are dilapidated and in terrible condition, especially the building serving as hall and church and the kitchen line. I urge the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice of Imo State to kindly step into the matter of those who are yet to access justice by facilitating their going to court, especially those brought to prison from Okigwe and all axes of the state. I want to appeal to the Governor of Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodimma, to exercise his prerogative powers on some inmates who have spent almost 16 to 21 years in prison and some very old men who are almost dying because of the frailty of old age. These set of prisoners deserve mercy. I want to appreciate my legal team led by Barrister Alex N. Williams, IBB Maduko, KC Mwekonye, Kisinga Ikoku, Barrister Chukwacha, Barrister Faith Obisike, and Chedemma Amade. I won't forget the efforts of Duru Daniels, Marjorie, Saviola Godwin, the entire Ozisa family, Obinna Chineke of Dalin FM, Davidson Amarez Amamosu of Toast FM, and my other colleagues who added their voices for my freedom. The National Human Rights Commission, International Human Rights Commission, RULAC, Amnesty International, National Youth Alliance, United Nations Human Rights Watch, Protect the Weak International Foundation. I can't mention all of you here, especially those who visited me while in prison, brought food, cash to assist me. I don't take you for granted. May God bless you all. Finally, I appreciate the entire management of the Federal Correctional Center Owerri, the former DCP, Eke C. Eke, now CP Eke, the new DCP, a young visionary administrator, Auntie Sandra, Joy, Cordelia, Mommy B, Oga Kano, Polo, Ogimo, Oga Chuks, Auntie Chioma, and all the beautiful nurses at the Federal Correctional Center Owerri who took care of my health. I say thank you. All warders and wardresses, including our gallant armed forces, I can't thank you guys enough for treating me like your blood. God bless you. To the General Provost of the prison and all other provosts, General Pastor, and the prison police, I appreciate you guys a lot for the physical protection you guys provided me throughout my stay with you. God will see you guys through. Amen. Before I conclude, the use of faceless organizations and individuals to write baseless petitions against opposition and critics of the Imo State government is a childish political tactics that must backfire and bring shame to Imo State. To any government that lacks the confidence and trust of the people, truth is inciting to such government. I have no personal grudge against the governor or anyone working for him, but I have serious issues with the way his information managers are managing his relationship with the people. There is an unprecedented gap of communication between the government and the people of Imo State because the media team of the governor only attacks personalities instead of issues raised. This is the greatest undoing of Uzodinma's administration. I will remain at the forefront of justice, defending Ndimo with the weapon of truth against political gamblers and jobbers. This is my vow. Mazi Chironsoba Nosokwa, President, Protect the Weak International Foundation, Nchekwa Umobenye Foundation. May God bless Igbo, may God bless Imo State, and may God bless Nigeria. Thank you.